Hi and welcome to E-ZTutoring. Today we are going to cover how to expand logarithms. In my last video I covered how to compress logarithms and how to solve logarithmic equations, but now we are doing it backwards. So before I jump into this, I'm going to briefly cover these three rules. If you are subtracting two logarithms, you simply take the numbers inside the logarithm and you divide them. And similarly, if you are adding logarithms, you multiply them. Now in this case, since we are going to be expanding a logarithm, we're going to be going from this side to this side and from here to here. Now there is one last rule. The last rule is if you have a logarithm of a number to a power, you can simply take that power, move it out front, and you get that power times the logarithm. Given these three rules, you should be familiar with them before you attempt such a problem. We are going to write down a very compressed logarithm. Let's say x squared times y over z to the fourth, all to a power of, say, 2. Okay, so this logarithm is very compressed. It is all compressed into one single logarithm. So we want to expand it. Now, generally, rule number 3 is the first rule you want to start with. We want to start with rule number 3 because there's a power on the logarithm. Can't do much. Can't really do steps 1 and 2 until we get rid of that power. So we want to take this power and move it out front. Just like this rule says, if you have a power, you can move it out front. So we get 2 times logarithm base 2 of x squared y over z to the fourth. So that's our first rule of expanding this logarithm. So now that we have the 2 out there, now we can follow rule number 1 or 2. Does not matter which one you do first. They can go in any order. I'm going to go ahead and do rule number 2 first I'm going to do rule number 1 first, so we can split up this division and have just this set as a number and this as a number. So rule number 1 says, if you have the logarithm of a over b, then you simply take the logarithm of this number, a, and you subtract the logarithm of the denominator. So this will be equal to 2 times, and this 2 out front is going to distribute to everything, so we have to put parentheses. This step is extremely important and where the majority of students will mess up. So now we just have log base 2 of the numerator, just like this rule says, log of the numerator, minus log of the denominator, right there, log base 2 of the denominator, z to the fourth. Now, once again, I cannot express how important this is to put parentheses, because what a lot of students will do is they won't put parentheses and there will be a 2 just in front of this log, but no 2 in front of that log. Okay, so there's one last step we need to do here. Or, I'm sorry, 2 steps, but we have multiplication in this log. So since we have multiplication in that log, we can use rule number 2, because when there's multiplication, you can split it into one log plus another log. So this becomes 2 times parentheses log base 2 of x squared plus log base 2 of y. So we split up the x squared and the y into 2 logarithms being added together. Then of course we also have minus log base 2 z to the fourth. Okay, so once again we kept the 2 out there with the parentheses. There is one last step we can do here. We got rid of this exponent in the beginning, but now we have individual exponents on these letters x and z. So we can bring those out front once again. So now we get 2 times we bring out this 2, right? So now we have 2 log base 2 of x plus log base 2 of y minus, and now we bring out the 4 minus 4 log base 2 of z. So we have expanded the inside as much as we can. You can see that every logarithm is just a single variable. There is no multiplication, there is no division, there is no exponents. We got rid of all those using these 3 rules. Now the very last thing we need to do is simply distribute this 2 to everything, and that will be a fully expanded logarithm. So we do 2 times 2, which gives us 4 log base 2 of x plus 2 log base 2 of y minus 2 times 4 gives us 8 log base 2 of z. So this is your fully expanded logarithm. When you expand this, you get this over here. Now similarly, you can actually take this and you can do all the steps to compress it, and you will get this same exact answer right over here. So I hope you guys are comfortable now expanding logarithms. For additional ACT or SAT help, be sure to visit my website, www.e-ztutoring.com. Thank you guys, and good luck.